Yeah, boy. What's happening, guys? Second, third here. Giving you my review on Apex Legends. Apex Legends is a Titanfall battle royale. Well, to an extent, it's set in the Titanfall universe, but you don't actually have any Titans on it. It's a free to download game. As far as I'm aware, it's on all platforms. I've only played on Xbox, however. And no, I guess let's just get into it. Going to start off by talking about the map, because obviously for a battle royale game, one of the key things is the map. Fortnite has a very iconic map that keeps kind of changing over time, adding places, changing the way the places' layouts are. PUBG has multiple maps now, and one of the things you'll be kind of worrying about when you go into it is the map good? Can you play it? And then kind of coming in with that would be the movement. But for both those, I can only kind of give positive answers. The map, although I've heard criticisms of the color palette, saying there's kind of dull enemies blending with the background, things like that. I actually rather like the map. I've gotten used to it. In saying that now, I don't know all the names off the back of my hand, but I can definitely say I love going wetlands or swamps. I land Skulltown most of the time now, and it's enjoyable. I like being able to run around it. It's good. And then obviously, as I was saying, coming hand in hand, that is the movement. The movement again, I can only say positives about. Well, you hear a side air. I'll start on movement. I'll just go with the positives. Climbing in the game, brilliant. The odd time here and there it bug a little bit, but sure, the game's only just been dropped. Um, Still though, basically not on all things, but if you're by a hill and you see a little bit of green or you're at a wall, just walk up to it, play it on Xbox, hold A, and you'll just climb it. Took me kind of a while to get used to that. The game has a bit of a learning curve though in terms of movement. The sliding is very good, I think. If you're on top of a hill, just run, press B, crouch, and you will just slide the whole way down. And saying that though, you need to cancel that, because if you don't cancel, you're just going to stay going. And that is what you need to be careful, because if you're crouching and you walk towards an edge, the odd time here and there, I'm pretty sure it'll just be a bug, but for me, I'll just randomly slide, and obviously that's not very good, so to speak. But other than that, I can't think of anything major issues in terms of movement. The movement's it's a little slow, but it's not bad. It's more so momentum based, and I like that. Um, the jumping now, actually speaking of the map and the movement, I suppose the one thing that goes right in the middle is your launch. You launch as a team of three, and you jump all together unless you choose to jump solo. You have a jump master. You kind of basically just choose to jump whenever he jumps. The jump master can pass on this option to any other player, and I think I like it. Because often you have times where you play games like Fortnite, and if you're playing with randoms or one of your mates trying to get into it, they have this kind of habit of not quite knowing the most efficient way to land, so to speak, or to land somewhere at the back end of nowhere in the map. So basically what this is, the jump master will choose to jump, all three of you will go at once, and as you're going down, you'll either all land together, or during the descent, you can choose to split from your jump master, and you can land at a separate location. So typically, say me and my team will land Skulltown. I'll push. It's in the shape of a cross, so I'll push one area, and then we'll split out. Other two team members will push another area. We'll meet up in the middle, and typically then that's where all the gunfights go down. So no complaints there. So far so good, bar a few little bugs. Um, Before you actually go into the game, you choose legends. I'd say in this scenario is actually more relatable to Realm Royale than any of the other games. There's 8 legends in the game so far. 2 of them you have to pay to unlock. Like, you unlock the in-game currency through leveling up, or you start off with 1,000 of I think it's called Apex coins. I'm not 100% sure. You can buy with that either. But no, I think I'm pretty to me, the legends, they add a lot of variety, but they're very balanced. They each have a passive ability, active ability, and they have their ultimate ability. The ultimate abilities aren't really, none of them are game breaking. It's just movement or like Lifeline calls in a care package, but she only gives support equipment. Like you'll get a shield or a helmet, or you'll get meds like shield battery, shield cell, syringes, med kit, stuff like that. Others are for movement. Raid she creates her own little teleporter. Pathfinder makes a zip line, and they're handy enough. They add the they add the they add variety. It's the best way I can put it. Probably the only way I can put it. Their passive abilities are just, you don't do them. They're just kind of there. I'm pretty sure Bangalore, one of her abilities is just, you get shot, you move faster. Lifeline's ability is just when you're healing somebody, it creates a shield and you use healing items 25% faster. Obviously, that's very good. That's probably one of the few things I'll say is Lifeline's character I mainly play as, purely because I like I like her abilities. I think she adds a lot to a team. Personally, I think each team should run a Lifeline. So if there's one character I say that isn't broke, but it's a little bit of a step up. If you're properly playing as a team, run a Lifeline. It'll help a lot. But in saying that, overall, I think they're all balanced. I had movement, so all characters move same speed, all have same health. Combat in the game is good. Some characters, as I was saying, their abilities affect combat more so than others would, but it's not game breaking. They'll give you a slight advantage if they work out or pay off, but that doesn't mean they always will. Bangalore can pop a smoke grenade. Gibraltar's, I think it's his passive ability, is that when he aims down sight while he's shooting, he pops up a little shield kind of protection for headshots. But it breaks pretty easy. You pop a good few shots into it, you're grand. It's all pretty balanced. The only thing I'll give out about when it comes to combat is just in general, just is great. There's only one complaint I have, I suppose. Just one thing I give out about is terms of, I wouldn't even say it's the combat. I'd say it affects early game combat a lot. It's spawn rates, but we'll get into that just when I finish combat in general. A lot of the guns are balanced, I personally think. I'd say probably the meta so far is just LMG and shotgun. But so far I think they're pretty balanced. I think Spitfire's pretty good LMG. Devotion is really good, but it runs with energy ammo. And personally, from my say 8 to 9 hours experience, I find the energy ammo is fairly hard to come by in comparison to all the other bullets. Then you have 2 shotguns. You have 4 actually. You have the EVA 8, which it's low on damage, but it has 8 shells in the clip, and you can spam it. It's pretty good for rushing in, but as I said, it's low damage. I think it balances itself out. You have the Peacekeeper then. 6 shells in the clip. Lower fire rate, but much more damage. For me, originally it was Peacekeeper. For a while I went with the EVA 8, but now I'm more down with the Peacekeeper. You have the Mastiff, I think it's pronounced. You can only get that in supply drops. My main problem with that is just I've only used it twice, but unless you're dead accurate, it doesn't quite hit, so to speak. Then there's the Mozambique. Mozambique, don't even get me started. It's a shotgun pistol that can hold three shells, and it does very little damage in comparison to the rest. Rather annoyingly, but I find it's never enough to kill anybody. But they're kind of the things you have to choose from for meta. Then you have your snipers. I feel snipers are very underpowered in this game. There's one I think it's called the Vapor, or the Vapor. I'm pretty sure it's Vapor, but you get it from supply drops as well. Again, I just want to say you can't get any of these from the Lifeline supply drop. Hers are only support, like attachments and meds and equipment such as like a shield or helmet, or a knockdown shield either. But sniper's very underpowered in my opinion. The Vapor's gonna say is the one that's the only one I've mainly used, and saying that I've got it twice. I have gone Noxway. I say it's the one I've mainly used. I have used the others, but the Vapor's the one that actually feels like it's hitting them. The rest don't really feel like they do a whole lot in terms of damage output. They feel more like you'd ping them for a shot and then you'll rush in with something else to finish them. But when you're playing with Sniper, why would you do that? You'd rather just have the AR, get mid-range, spam them, push in, that kind of way. Then ARs, they're alright. For me personally, I just kind of stick with the Hemlock. A few people I've talked to said the Hemlock isn't up there. The Spitfire, Devotional is better, but personally, it's kind of close range. Once you're accurate, LMG's over the Hemlock any day. But I personally think at long range, switch to Hemlock single fire, you'll hit them. I don't want to go on too much about the guns. I want to kind of talk more about the general mechanics, but just that's kind of that. I'll probably go into greater detail on them, my opinions, at a later date. But it adds new features that aren't in that I'd say are exclusive, based on our battle royale games I played. But the ping mechanic I think is very very useful. It's something that battle royale games have needed for a while. If you're not playing, talking through a party or a group chat, or if you're playing on PC, you're not talking through Discord or Skype. It's something you really need if you're not communicating with your teammates. Basically, on the Xbox, you hit the right bumper, you'll ping a location. That's it. You go in there, double tap, and it comes up basically saying that you'll double tap when you see an enemy. Double tap on the enemy or in the enemy's general location. It'll ping that area, saying there's an enemy there. If you hold down on the right bumper, then it comes up with multiple options for different scenarios, and it's very good. It's very useful. It helps out a lot. Now the new thing actually that I'm probably going to not spend the most time, because it's very it's game changing to an extent. Basically they introduce these things called banners, and with banners, what you can do is if your teammate dies, they go down, you don't revive them. You can bring them back into the game. When you only play Fortnite, PUBG, Blackout, Realm Royale, at first it kind of sounds, to me anyways, I thought it sounded pretty broke. I was like, okay, so your teammates can get killed off, but they can just come right back in. But trust me when I say, when everyone can do it, and how limited it actually is, it's hard enough, but it's very, obviously you're getting a teammate back in. It's very rewarding when you get it. Basically, when your teammate dies, you have 90 seconds to run over to the loot crate. The loot crate they drop. What you is with Xbox, stand by. I'm pretty sure you have to hold X for 5 seconds. And what you do is you collect their banner. You have 90 seconds after they collect their banner. If you don't make it, they're gone for good. If you get their banner, you have to go to a respawn point. There's respawn points located all across the map, and you can only use a respawn point once. You can respawn multiple teammates at it, but you can only use it once, and once it's used, that's it for the game. It can't be used again. Which again, I think those two factors, the 90 seconds to get the banner, and the only being able to use a respawn station once, I think again it limits it. And the fact that everyone can do it as the respawn stations located across all the map makes it fair. But not only that, when they respawn in, they don't just get their weapons and all that. They'll have to go back and they have to do, and that's if it hasn't been looted already by you or other enemies. So remember that. It balances it. It's nice. It's a different change in the game. Again, probably if you've played it, something you probably picked up along the way from me, kind of featuring bits here and there. You're playing teams of 3. There's no solo servers, there's no duo servers or 4-player servers, anything like that. So if you're used to them, they ain't in it. It's only 3-player. And saying that actually one of the negatives to do with the game in general is I've often loaded into a game where I've actually either been by myself or been one teammate down. And of course, I think it spices up the game, but I wouldn't complain about it too much. But again, when it's meant to be 3 players and you spawn in one by yourself or one player less, it's a bit annoying. But I digress. No, yeah, I think it's fairly balanced. The map, as I was saying, is good. It's a nice overall game. The fact that it's dropped as a free game, it's nice. Again though, unfortunately with problems, there are server timeouts. I heard that players on PC actually, not often, but the odd time here and there the game will crash. I don't know about PS4 players, but for me the game runs smoothly enough. The other complaints I said are only minor complaints, but this one, it's a minor complaint because it doesn't happen during the game, but it's still annoying when it does happen. Is the game will finish, it will kind of pop up saying, you'll see at the end of this video here, it's just gameplay of me and my mate playing with a random, but it'll pop up saying, each player, you'll have a you'll have each player's legend will walk out. It'll pop up with a little kind of banner thing, I guess, and it will show your kills, the damage you dealt, the times you've been alive, your revives, stuff like that. And it comes up with that, and then you have to hold on Xbox. You have to hold B to go back to the main lobby. But often enough with this, when you hold B, the server actually times out and you disconnect, and you have to go back in and reconnect to the server. It's obviously it sounds terrible, but you reconnect within a matter of seconds, say 10, 15 at most, and you're back into the lobby. But the only problem is, say yesterday for instance, it happened multiple times when me and my friends were playing, and eventually it got to the stage where the lobby wouldn't load properly. So it would say we were all loading as separate players. When it showed our teams, we weren't on the same team. But when the game loaded, we were all together. Now again, I haven't heard anybody complain about this, but I'm pretty sure it just happened due to the fact that we got disconnected from the server so many times. And saying that, an update did drop about an hour or two after we had these issues. I didn't read into what the update actually changed, but I haven't experienced it since, so that's obviously good. As I was saying, this is just an early review. I don't think I've played enough to give it a fully fledged review. I haven't played Titanfall itself, so even though it's set in that universe, I don't actually quite know what I'm comparing it to in general. I'm just purely going from the Battle Royale aesthetic and basing it off what I know from playing PUBG, playing Blackout, and playing Fortnite. Exclusively a console player because I don't have a PC mad enough to run any of the games, but that's kind of why I'm basing these views off of when I talk about the weapons and the gameplay mechanics, how smooth it runs, stuff like that. And saying actually, the game runs very smoothly. Frame rates never dropped, it's always been good for me. The odd time, as I said, there's been a server issue, but never been badly enough to affect me in game. I've only actually properly lagged once, and that's in the video you're playing. You'll see we're in a cave by the river, and I jump from one area to the next. It's like as if I've just cut that little scene out, but it's not. It's just streaming, and the lag just cut out. On my screen, my character was running in the same spot and then just jumped. But as I said, it's never happened since. That was only one time it happened, and about an hour or two afterwards there was an update. I'll probably end up dropping another review, say a relook at the game in about, give it a month I'd say. See where the game goes, how big it gets, if it can last. Personally, I don't know if it will, but I'd love to see the game last because personally I enjoy the gameplay so much. I played a lot of Blackout before I hopped on, and I felt like I kind of slid into it very easily. I feel like they have a lot in common. At the moment, I'd definitely rate the game an 8 out of 10 to say the least. It has its minor bugs, very minor. The game itself then, as I was saying, I like the weapons, I like the legends. For a free game, it's not pay to win. It's like, I'd say it's like Fortnite in the sense that all the income going to Respawn off of it comes from aesthetic purchases in the store. Just skins for your weapons, skins for the legends, so on and so forth. It's a nice game, it's good. I recommend to anybody who hasn't played it yet, 100%. It's definitely worth a try, worth a download, worth a game. I've heard people just another quick thing. I've heard people complaining about randoms. I have no problem playing with randoms in this game. I give out the odd time here and there when you're playing with a proper noob. It's just, in this game, the best way I can describe it is if you've played Call of Duty, you're able to handle it. A few minor mechanics, but they're different. But you should be able to, the basic core gameplay element, combat and all. It's a great game. so far. I'll recommend to anybody. I feel like it's only going to get bigger. It can only get better from here. So why not have more people playing it? That's my view on it. I think it's great. As I said, as I keep saying, I recommend it. Yeah, I'm going. So just separate note now. Each day now, well, whenever I can, definitely Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be streaming this on my Twitch, the 2nd, 3rd. If you're interested, give it a look. If not, obviously you don't have to check. Only really starting off with the channel. So a like, a share, a comment, giving opinions, greatly be appreciated. And yeah, I suppose that's it for now. So more videos soon. That's it from me, guys. The 2nd, 3rd signing out. Thank you. Give me 1 sec there. I'll see if I have time for